The Universal Laws. Chapter 4. The Law of Correspondence. How your inner world shapes the outer world. Most of us spend our lives trying to fix the outside, fixing relationships, changing jobs, rearranging the home, searching for better circumstances. Yet, the more we try to change the outside, the more stubborn life becomes. The law of correspondence explains why. It quietly teaches, quote, your outer world always follows the pattern of your inner world, end quote. This chapter is about understanding that truth in a real, grounded, and deeply human way. It is about learning how to work with life from the inside out. And most importantly, it is about discovering how to shift your inner state so your outer world finally begins to change. Let us begin a story, a house that reflected its owner. There was a woman named Lan who lived in a small, quiet neighborhood near the edge of a forest. Her house was lovely from the outside, white fence, rose bushes, a porch swing, but inside everything was in disarray. Laundry in piles, bills scattered, half-finished projects on the kitchen table. The more chaotic her home became, the more overwhelmed she felt. One morning she called her friend Mai and confessed, I don't know what's wrong with me. I want peace, I want an order, but no matter how I try, everything keeps slipping back into chaos. Mai visited later that week. She looked around the house, not with judgment, but with soft eyes. After a moment, she said something unexpected. This house looks exactly the inside of your mind. Lan froze. She knew Mai was right. Her thoughts were tangled. Her emotions were scattered. Her worries simmered day after day. And her home, her outer world, mirrored all of it. Mai didn't criticize her. She simply said, when you feel chaotic inside, the outside cannot hold peace. Let's work the inside first. For the first time in years, Lan understood the truth. Life wasn't messy because she was disorganized. Life was messy because her inner world was crowded, confused, and exhausted. This realization is the core of the law of correspondence. The outer world does not create the inner state. The inner state creates the outer world. What exactly is the law of correspondence? If we reduce this law to one simple idea, it is this. Your life is a reflection of your inner beliefs, emotions, and self-perception. Whatever you consistently believe inside yourself will inevitably express itself outside yourself. The law governs the relationships you attract, the opportunities you recognize, the challenges you face, the money you earn, the decisions you make, the level of peace or chaos in your daily life. It is not magic. It is not luck. It's the internal truth spilling into external experience. Just as the moon moves the tides, your inner world moves the shape of your life. If you feel unworthy, you unconsciously shrink in every room. If you believe people are untrustworthy, you choose unsafe relationships. If you hold confidence, you walk into opportunities others never see. If you cultivate peace, your home and interactions reflect that calm. Your life is always speaking to you. The question is whether you are listening. Life speaks through patterns. One of the clearest ways the law of correspondence shows itself is through patterns. Patterns repeat until you understand their message. For example, a person who repeatedly ends up with controlling partners may carry a deep belief that they must earn love through obedience. A person who often loses jobs may hold the inner fear of responsibility or success. A person who constantly experiences financial scarcity may subconsciously believe, I'm not meant to have more. Life keeps echoing the same situations, not to punish you, but to reveal the belief causing them. Think of like a gentle teacher who repeats the lesson until the student truly learns it. If you see the recurring pattern, look inward. What belief inside me is producing this? The outer pattern is only a reflection. The belief is the real cause. A story of the old library. When I was younger, I visited an old library filled with dusty wooden shelves and handwritten books that had survived generations. One afternoon, I found a curious volume titled A Mirror of Kings. Inside, the author explained that ancient rulers used mirrors not for vanity but for self-examination. They believed their kingdom always reflected their inner state. If the king was anxious, disputes multiplied. If he were greedy, famine spread. If he were peaceful, the kingdom prospered. Before solving the problems of the kingdom, the books say the king must examine his heart. The land follows the ruler's spirit. It struck me then, and even more deeply now, that the law of correspondence is not only a spiritual principle, but a psychological truth. You are the ruler of your inner kingdom, your outer kingdom, your relationships, finances, home, and opportunities responds to your internal leadership. If your world feels chaotic, do not rush to fix the outside. Sit quietly, close your eyes, ask the inner king or queen what I am feeling, what I am believing, what am I afraid of, what do I desire but not yet permit myself to have. Your answers will explain your outer conditions more clearly than anything else. Why some people struggle even when they try hard. Effort alone cannot overcome inner resistance. That is why two people may work equally hard, yet one moves forward while the other stays stuck. A man named Dan used to say, I do everything right. I try so hard. Why do things always go wrong? When we explore his inner world, something surprising appears. He carried his childhood belief that good things never last and that success always slips away. No matter how hard he worked, his inner belief whispered louder, you cannot keep good things, and so he never could. The law of correspondence is never contradict your inner belief. You may want abundance, but if you believe wealth is suspicious or dangerous, you will unconsciously push it away. You may want love, but if you believe you are unlovable, you will sabotage every attempt. You may want peace, but in your mind is full of fear. Your outer world mirrors that fear. Effort without inner alignment feels like rowing against the current. Once your inner world aligns, life begins flowing in your favor. How to apply this law gently and effectively? The law of correspondence is powerful but surprisingly simple to apply. It does not require rituals, fancy practices, or perfect thinking. It requires awareness and honesty. Beloved are steps to apply in a gentle, human, and real way. Step 1. Look at your life as a messenger, not an enemy. Instead of asking, why is it happening to me? Ask, what is this showing me about myself? A recurring conflict shows an inner wound. A repeating opportunity shows inner readiness. A painful relationship shows a belief about your worth. A peaceful home shows inner alignment. Life is always communicating. Listen without blame. Step 2. Identify the belief beneath the experience. Every experience has a root belief. To find it, ask, what belief would someone have to hold to keep repeating this pattern? When did I first start feeling this way? Whose voice does this belief sound like? Is this really my belief or something I inherited? Beliefs often begin in childhood. A parent's criticism becomes a lifelong insecurity. A lack of affection becomes fear of rejection. Early chaos becomes adult unpredictability. Once you name the belief, you take away its power. Step 3. Choose a new inner dialogue. Changing a belief is not about forcing yourself to think positive words. It is about choosing new internal truths gently, consistently, and compassionately. For example, instead of nobody listen to me, try what I say matters. Instead of I always lose everything, try I can build and keep good things. Instead of life is hard, try life supports my growth. Small inner sentences create enormous outer shifts. Step 4. Match your action with your new beliefs. This is where the law becomes alive. If you believe you are worthy, you stop tolerating disrespect. You speak your truth more calmly. You stop apologizing for existing. You choose healthier relationships. If you believe abundance is possible, you take new opportunities. You invest in yourself. You stop acting small. If you believe life is kind, you stop expecting disaster. You notice blessings. You walk through the world with openness. Action confirms belief. When your actions and beliefs align, life must follow. Step 5. Allow time for outer world to catch up. Just like a seed needs time underground before breaking through the soil, your external life needs time to shift after you change internally. Do not rush this process. Do not assume nothing is happening. The moment your beliefs change, your future changes, even if the evidence has not yet arrived. The inner room and the outer window. This is an old metaphor told among spiritual teachers. Your mind is like a room. Your life is a window through which others see it. If the room is cluttered with own fears, People will treat you with caution or distance. If the room is filled with shame, you will walk through life quietly. If the room is filled with confidence and warmth, your presence brings ease wherever you go. And if the room is filled with deep respect, life cannot help but respect you back. You do not need to fix the window. You need to only to clean and illuminate the room. A story of the teacher who never raised her voice. There was a school teacher named Rosa who taught some of the most troubled students in her city. These were teenagers who fought, shouted, and refused to learn. Many teachers left within months, but Rosa stayed for 30 years. People asked what her secret was. She says simply, I do not teach from anger. I teach from a quiet center. Rosa told the children every day, you matter. You are not bad. You are becoming. Even the most difficult students mirror her calm presence. It wasn't her techniques. It wasn't discipline. It wasn't a strategy. It was her inner world. She carried a steady energy, and the room corresponded to it. This is the law of correspondence in action. Your internal state influences every space you enter. Your energy teaches louder than your words. When your inner world is in conflict, sometimes life becomes loud. Arguments, misunderstandings, delays, disappointments, and we blame the outer world. But most outer conflicts begin as inner conflicts. For example, if you want rest but you feel guilty resting, your outer schedule becomes chaotic. If you want love but fear vulnerability, relationships become complicated. If you want success but feel unworthy, opportunities slip through your fingers. Our conflict is not failure, it is your message. You are out of alignment. Your inner world needs attention. Your heart is tired. Your belief needs healing. When the inner conflict resolves, the outer conflict quiets like a storm passing. How to transform your outer world by transforming your inner world. Let's turn this law into a simple daily practice. Practice number 1. Morning inner alignment. Before you get out of bed, ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? What belief will support me today? What energy do I choose to bring into this day? If you choose calm, life will mirror calm. If you choose gratitude, life will mirror gratitude. If you choose self-respect, life will mirror respect. This takes 1 minute, but it changes the tone of your entire day. Practice number 2, evening reflection without blame. Before to go to sleep, ask, what today reflected my inner strength? What reflected my inner fears? What lesson is life showing me right now? What belief do I need to shift? Do this gently, without blame, without self-attack. Awareness alone begins the transformation. Practice number 3, cleaning one inner belief at a time. Do not overwhelm yourself. Choose one belief, just one, that you want to change. Perhaps I'm not enough. I must do everything alone. Life is always against me. Good things don't last. I'm afraid to trust. Work on that belief for months. Speak differently. Act differently. Choose differently. Great change begins with one belief at a time. Practice number 4, surround yourself with corresponding environments. Your inner world is healing. Choose environments that support that healing. Sit in nature. Connect with peaceful people. Spend time in places that feel calm, safe, and uplifting. These environments stabilize your new inner state, but like healthy soil supports a new seedling. The great truth of this law, the law of correspondence, teaches the truth that both humbling and empowering. Your life is not your punishment. Your life is your mirror. And mirrors are gifts. They show you what needs to change. They show you where you're strong. They show you where you are hurting. They show you where you need healing, courage, or clarity. When you change the mirror within, everything outside reflects differently. Final story. The woman who found her inner sky, a widow named Elara, once lived near a mountain ridge. After her husband passed, she felt as if her world had collapsed. The sky in her heart has turned dark. She stopped tending her garden. She stopped listening to music. She stopped meeting new friends. And even her small shop began to lose customers. One day, a traveling monk visited her shop. He saw her sadness and gently said, "Your life looks like a cloudy day, but clouds do not mean the sky is gone." She looked up, confused. He continued, "The clouds are only in the atmosphere. Above them, the sky is always blue. When you remember your inner sky, your outer world changes." That night, Ilara sat quietly with this thought. She closed her eyes. She imagined a clear sky above the grief, above the fear, above the loneliness. She breathed deeply until she felt a tiny opening in her heart. The next morning, she watered her garden for the first time in months. A week later, she reopened her shop with fresh flowers at the entrance. A month later, her customers returned. Her life didn't transform because magic happened. It transformed because she happened. Ilara found her inner sky again, and the world reflected it. This is the law of correspondence, not mystical, not dramatic, simply the truth that life becomes what you are within. The outer world follows the inner world. Conclusion. Your thoughts write the script. Your emotion color the scenes. Your beliefs shape the characters. Your inner world becomes the outer world you live in. If you want your life to rise, your inner self must rise first. If you want your world to soften, your mind must soften first. If you want abundance, peace, love, or success, you must cultivate those qualities within, because the law of correspondence is always working patiently, faithfully, and silently, reflecting you back to you until the day you decide to transform your inner reality and watch the world transform with it. Thank you so much, and this is the end of chapter 4. Please click like and subscribe to my channel.